not speed as an end goal, but the speed that created real value in a rapid time. It showed up repeatedly and appeared to be a powerful predictor of a leader's effectiveness as well as the organization's success. What produced speed was not one unique competency, but a combination of behaviors that included a leader's tendency to think about the future and to see around the corner before most others saw the trend emerging. The syndrome also incorporated an ability and willingness to identify a problem and respond to it without delay. Finally, the speed syndrome encompassed the tendency to quickly make changes in processes and procedures so that problems were resolved on a permanent basis. It was all about delivering an optimum amount of quality in the quickest time, which adds up to producing real value. This is what we call leadership speed. In short, leadership speed is defined as reducing the time to value. The relationship between speed and organizational effectiveness. One group of researchers wrote, "On top of speed's intuitive appeal, our research shows a hard link between speed and business results. We asked hundreds of leaders from around the world to rate their company's overall speed of execution relative to others in their industry. Roughly half described their company as faster or much faster. We then compared these faster companies with those rated slower, looking at their business performance during the previous 3 years. It turned out that the faster companies had an average of 40% higher sales growth and 52% higher operating profit than the slower companies. So leaders are right to seek speed. It leads to positive business outcomes." What is it that causes an organization to move faster than its counterparts? We all know that organizations don't behave. Individuals do. When a group of individuals begin to act with some consistency or in concert, we describe the end result as organizational behavior. As we pondered the relationship between speed and leadership effectiveness, several questions arose. Just how important is this quality of speed? What is the relationship between speed and the quality of the output? Is the speed we are measuring in this context much like the processor speed in a computer? Is it largely baked into the individual in the organization, or is it driven by the organizational culture in which the person works? How do other people in the organization respond to a leader who prefers to move rapidly versus one who is more deliberate? Can people consciously increase their speed? Are there specific behaviors that go hand in hand with speed? Or is it quite independent of other leadership actions? It quickly became obvious that there were many fascinating questions that, to our knowledge, had never been addressed by other leadership researchers. We had some clear advantages. We possessed a database of over 1,000,000 360-degree feedback instruments. They came from respondents all over the world. Within that extensive body of data, we were convinced we could find some answers. The second advantage we have involves some self-disclosure. When asked for good examples of leaders who gravitate strongly towards speed, we both immediately identify the other. We both are off-the-chart champions of speed, which probably has something to do with the inception of this book. While it is true that opposites attract and there are some areas in which we are different, it is also true that birds of a feather flock together. That is true in this case. We have found that it really helps to work with someone who moves at the same pace that we do. So, our journey began. In brief, we analyzed multi-rater feedback evaluations on over 50,000 leaders to evaluate the impact speed had on how leaders were evaluated overall. To do this, we created a speed index comprised of items from our 360-degree feedback instrument. These measured a leader's ability to spot problems or trends early, quickly respond to problems, quickly make needed changes. Those leaders who were rated in the top quartile on this speed index compared to all other leaders were rated substantially higher in their overall leadership skills. Those who were in the top quartile on speed were rated at the 83rd percentile on their overall effectiveness, whereas those leaders who were in the bottom quartile were at the 18th percentile.